Yeah, I'd love to. I want to talk about these running backs now. So let's jump into this. When we dive into these, we like to. What I like to do is just kind of give us a breakdown of what last season, the output from last season, and where the Buffs rank. So kind of just an overview, wrap up of the 24 season. So let's get started on this. So let's rewind this, not just production, but where Colorado stood nationally in the run game. I do want so the rushing output, the Buffs averaged 65.2 rushing yards per game, near the bottom of the FBS. So this would have got them 132nd, I believe, out of 134 teams nationally. And again, this is last year's number. This year, there's 136 teams nationally in FBS. Big 12. So just to give you an idea, where they rank. So I'm going to list them from 1 all the way down to 16. So UCF averaged 248.1 yards, Arizona State 200.6, Kansas State 215.5, Kansas 211.4, West Virginia 193.7, Baylor 178.8, Iowa State 160.5, Cincinnati 184.1. So we are halfway through the Big 12. Texas Tech 165.9, BYU 161.0, Houston 134.8, Utah 130.4, TCU 113.9, Oklahoma State 111.8, Arizona 106.6, and Colorado last at 65.2. So dead last in the Big 12. And again, that wasn't very hard, right? Once we know that they're ranked 132 out of 134 nationally, we kind of see where that was going. This is an area that definitely needed to be cleaned up. And again, this does not just go because the running backs are bad. That is not at all. If you've ever played the game of football, played offensive line in particular, you'd be able to understand that it is that unit needs to be cohesive up front as well as the running back. So the running game takes this is where teamwork comes in. Getting to know each other, practice, understanding what the running back is seeing versus what the offensive front is seeing. So this is where this thing needs to be a well-oiled machine here. Leading rusher last year was Isaiah Gustav, 384 yards on 85 carries. Man, and 4 rushing touchdowns. He was getting going. At one point, he started to get moving. It looked like Colorado had found the Buffs had found their run game. Looks like that they were back, ready to get rolling again, and never really materialized into anything. Last year, we see Michael Welch got injured, got hurt. I want to say it was a hamstring. I can't remember, but he averaged 4.33 yards, 186 yards, 4 touchdowns. Dallin Hayden, again, who I have been ranting and raving about, as you guys all know, at 196 yards. Charlie Offerdahl, 119 yards. And again, he will not be on the team this year due to the concussion. So just another player that won't be there. And again, regardless, Charlie's leadership will be missed. And again, Isaiah was turning into something. Again, I can't remember where he ended up, but I think he hit the portal again. And I don't know where he ended up after it was in Virginia, Wake Forest. I can't remember, one of those schools he went to. Didn't work out, hit the portal again. Do not know where he ended up, though. I know that some fans wanted Isaiah to return to Colorado. I don't know what that looked like, what happened with that. But, again, we're not going to know that type of information, I should say. So again, departures. So again, there may have been more, but the 2 major ones, Isaiah Gustav entered the transfer portal, not in Boulder. Brandon Hood, he's gone, and that's Colton Hood's brother. So like we talked about, Colton Hood's at Tennessee. Brandon Hood, where did he end up? See, I can't even. There's so many with the transfer portal in and out. He's not on the Buffs. He looked promising. Could fly, could run, was really, really fast. So. But our returning running backs, like we talked about, so Michael Welch, Dallin Hayden, and then Would have been Charlie, but again, like we already spoke about Charlie. Welch and Hayden, they're the foundation of the backfield. So they are explosive, steady. They have to be steady and they have to find that third back, which we will talk about. So now the transfer additions. Isaiah to South Carolina, is that where he's at currently? Because I think he was at West Virginia, or was it Virginia or Wake Forest? I think initially, I can't remember where he went. I remember Prime came on and said you took one, and he said something back in was it spring ball? I can't remember when it was, but he was talking about something else. I can't remember, but transfer additions. So one that I'm really excited about, DeKalen Taylor. So transferred from Incarnate Word in San Antonio. As a transfer, he was a three-star. Last year, 152 carries for 909 yards, 9 touchdowns, and average 6 yards. So one of the coolest plays I've ever seen, he had a 97-yard run last year versus Northern Arizona. So if you have some time, Google that one. Just DeKalen Taylor, 97-yard run versus Northern Arizona. It was, man, he just outran everybody on the field. 97 yards is not something you're going to see quite often, if ever. So really excited for what he brings. He is the running back that is entering the program that I am most excited for. So track hawk, tons of speed there, tons of explosion, very explosive player. So curious to see what the role he has. Simeon Price. So this is 3-star from Mississippi State, where they got him as a transfer. So again, he was a 3-star transfer. I believe even when he came out of high school, he was a 3-star. He had 30 carries for 150 yards. So there has been, I guess, a little bit of buzz around him over this, this camp. But again, I don't know. I'm not there every day. I'm not sure, So the two that have got the most have been, obviously Dallin Hayden and Michael Welch. They have a much improved running back room. So, and then I think one that I should have kind of talked about for returning, one that is probably going to get some carries. I don't know how many, but Draylen Miller. Again, that is the Deebo Samuel. That's the role he plays. Should be. I mean, he played it last year, but Draylen Miller. We'll see if he gets some carries. Really, really good young player. One that I'm excited for is a slot receiver, as a running back, think of him as the Deebo Samuel of so a couple years ago with the 49ers, the Deebo Samuel of this Buffalo team. Let's look at this. So now, projected week 1 lineup. Now, what I will say about this, I don't think it really matters who starts. Again, the two the two lead backs are going to be Dallin Hayden and Michael Welch. Those are the two that we need to watch, pay attention to. Those are the two that you'll see 7 and number 29. Those are going to be the bow cows of the offense. Fantastic players. Where the actual position battle comes in at is that third running back. And again, that can be situational as well. But right now I would lean towards DeKalen Taylor. And again, I just like the young man. Anytime he has spoken, just a smile on his face. Just really appreciate his how he speaks, how he carries himself. Just fantastic young man. So always positive. Real excited for him. So I would say he's probably your leader at 3. For the third, that next running back. So yeah, that's how I see this room playing out. Again, that a lot of people, I was been reading some articles and media saying, well, they lost their leading running back, and it's like, well, yeah, I get that, but it's not like they lost like a 800-900 yard rusher, even 700 yards. Leading rusher was 380. Augusta with 384. Again, it wasn't like a humongous loss. Again, we were excited for him, but again, it was nothing earth-shattering, anything like that. But again, those 3 running backs, Really excited for this season to see what they do. And again, what gets me really excited about it is that offensive line room. Again, that those two go hand in hand. So that is where the biggest upgrade, in my opinion, was the offensive line. I've been saying that since spring ball. That is where these running backs are going to be felt the most. Again, the first, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've had a 100-yard rusher from a running back in the Coach Prime era. We should get a handful this year with that offensive line. Now the coaching, right? This is one that that I'm very high up. Marshall Falk, under running back coach Marshall Falk, emphasis is on physicality, downhill vision, elite instinct. Again, we'll see what that looks like as far as power run, gap run, zone. We'll see what that looks like. Again, most teams do run both of them, all three of them, if you want to call it. But this again, I'm excited for it. And again, Marshall Falk, one of the best running backs ever. Probably outside of Barry Sanders, my favorite running back that's ever played. So loved watching him as a kid.